I'm Archhana, your host for today and the co-founder and CEO at Joonify. Joonify is India's first intelligent assessment platform for discovering the kids' unique talents and nurturing their growth. Hello everyone, I welcome you all today to my podcast, Young Achievers Nurturing Passion Early with Sudipti. Today we have a phenomenal guest joining us, Ms. Sudipti Hajela. Sudipti Hajela, age 21, is an Indian equestrian athlete. She won a gold medal in team event in equestrian at the 2022 Asian Games. Let's all welcome Ms. Sudipti Hajela. Hi Sudipti, how are you doing?
Good.
Thank you for joining us today, and I'm really excited to deep dive into your life and your achievements. Can you share your journey in equestrian and how you discovered this passion at a very young age?
So equestrian, firstly, I would like to say, equestrian is basically horse riding. And as a lot of people know, it is not racing. It is not about jockey riding. It is about three different disciplines that our country is currently in, which is dressage, eventing, and show jumping. I am a dressage rider. I think, like everyone else, equestrian was a very foreign language to me when it was first introduced, and it was by my father, who was the first one to inculcate in my life as a hobby. And then it became onto a passion as and when I went on. I have been riding for about 15 years now, and I started at a very young age. I did my first ever nationals in 2013 when I couldn't even go up the horse without at least one step and then another step onto it. And I think it started as a very great hobby, which has fueled into a very great passion and, of course, now a career.
Great, very interesting. How did your parents support your early interest in equestrian, and were these specific steps they took to encourage your passion?
If at all, if it weren't my dad, I think उनने सबसे पहले मुझे introduce किया sports से और उनने मुझे pursue किया, because I think जब हम when we're at a young age, बहुत difficult होता है for a child because it's very overwhelming कि हमें ये भी करना है वो भी करना है, and it might be a possibility that आप उस सही talent को अपने आप समझ ना पाओ कि okay, I am sharp at this, या मुझे इस चीज़ में ज़्यादा interest है तो मेरा scope ज़्यादा बढ़ सकता है. And of course, all time moral support and all time of emotional support is very important for the parents. But I think मुझे एक little push होता है कि because ये sport एक काफ़ी अलग हटके है, and ये I always tell everyone that ये एक ही ऐसा Olympic sport है जिसमें men and women compete together. There is कोई इसमें ऐसा division नहीं है जैसे women's basketball and men's basketball है. इसमें men and women compete together, and it is an absolute unique sport. और इतना अलग हटके अपने प्रोफेशन में जो मैं आज हूँ, आई थिंक वो सिर्फ मैं अपने पेरेंट्स के कारण हूँ, बिकॉज उनने मुझे जो सपोर्ट दिया है, उनने मेरे को जो गाइडेंस दी है, एंड ये बिलीव दैट इवन इफ इट्स समथिंग डिफरेंट, इट माइट टर्न आउट टू बी रियली गुड, विच इट डिड. एंड ये सपोर्ट आपके पेरेंट्स का और ये एक अर्ली उम्र पे उन लोगों का भी मुझे पुश करना, बिकॉज सारे बच्चों की तरह हर किसी को बचपन में खेल कूद करनी है, विच इज़ ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. और आप कभी ना कभी चीज़ों को हर टाइम इतना सीरियसली नहीं लेते हो, यूर लाइक कि हाँ ठीक है, स्कूल है एंड दिस इज हाउ, आगे जाके देखेंगे. बट हाउ दे हेल्प्ड मी टू पिक इट अप फ्रॉम अ वेरी अर्ली एज. आई एम वेरी हैप्पी क्योंकि आज मैं 21 साल पे, नाउ आई एम एस्टैब्लिश्ड एंड नाउ आई लुक फॉरवर्ड फॉर अ करियर एंड आई वांट टू बी एन ओलंपियन. आई हैव एवरीथिंग सॉर्टेड एंड आई ओव इट अ लॉट टू माय पेरेंट्स, बिकॉज एक सिक्योर हूँ मैं, एक देयर इज अ सेंस ऑफ सिक्योरिटी, और एक जो चीज़ें हैं कि नहीं अब इतना जीवन में कर लिया है, अब इससे 10 स्टेप और ऊपर, फिर और ऊपर और ऊपर. तो आई थिंक वो कॉन्फिडेंस, वो पुशिंग पेरेंट्स से बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है.
Right. So what I understood from you is that your parent really helped you out to first of all discover your passion and then to streamline your passion.
Exactly.
So इसमें parents का भी बहुत बड़ा एक role होता है. And it started at a very early age. Okay, so when did you first realize that equestrian was something you wanted to pursue seriously, and how did that realization came into you?
I think you have to really have a bold impact कि तब वो sink in होता है कि ये है, this is something, एक eye opener होता है, and it is all यशराज की movie types. And honestly, it was quite literally like this with me, because I did my first ever international show in 2017. And उस time पे I did my first ever big high profile show in Portugal. And that time was the first time that I ever in a foreign land wore my flag.
Okay.
And I saw the Indian national flag. And I said, now there is just no backing. It had sunk in much earlier in 2013 when I did my first nationals, and it was really good. But it was still like an additional sport, कि you're doing the sport. But I think that time when मैं वहाँ थी and I entered the arena, and there were so many flags for all the countries that were participating. And that time when I saw our flag, I was like, this is special. This is important. Not everyone gets to wear their flag. Not everyone gets to be here and, in a foreign land between whites and be called Indian. I think that was something that really changed me. And I think that day it was my first ever international, and I literally gave it my all. And I think that changed a lot of things in my life. And that was my first step forward to me thinking I wanted to go to the Asian Games was 2017, 2018.
Oh, that was quite early.
Yes.
And I would really give it to you for that, and your parents also, that first of all, you knew that, what you are good at, and at the same time, your parents supported it, and I feel that, equestrian is something which is very out of the league.
Yeah.
It is not something which is very common or trending, or, something which parents would be, happily would allow you to do it. But when they really supported you to do something which is out of the league, so it's like really commendable. So, I would just share my little story with you. So me and my co-founder Aditi Mittal, we own a edtech startup which kind of sells, online courses in the sense like coding, robotics, mental maths, Rubik's Cube, and things like that. So what happened when while we were into that, we kind of interacted with thousands of the parents, and few of the parents really come up to us saying that, oh, my child is not doing robotics well, what is wrong? Is he not good enough? But I don't understand why parents make it a agenda, that, oh, it is trending if my neighbor's son is doing, or if the school is asking to do it. Like, the child has to do it and they have to perform in it well. We kind of put so much of pressure on the child that you need to perform in it. But they don't understand the fact that maybe the child is not made for robotics. There are 100 other courses or 100 other fields, where the child can go and child can have passion for something else rather than this. And, when we were seeing, the children were really getting very annoyed with, such kind of pressure from parents, and, there were nobody to help them out. And that was the point. We thought that, just stop everything. We don't need to sell something which is not meant for them. Why are we doing that? Because as an educator, it's our responsibility to, give right knowledge to the, right person. Let's see if Sachin Tendulkar, he started playing when he was just 9 years old, and he could see that, okay, his passion is into cricket. So he was very focused towards cricket, and he played through his life. And, now you can see that he's doing wonders. Just understand that, that time if he couldn't have discovered his passion, or his parents wouldn't have supported him, he would have been something else maybe today, and maybe he wouldn't have enjoyed that kind of fame what he is enjoying.
Probably wouldn't be Sachin Tendulkar at last.
Yeah, he wouldn't be the Sachin Tendulkar, right? So we totally stop all the operations of Arc Learnings, and we thought that there should be, we need to do something about it. And that was the time when Joonify had born, and we kind of made our own psychometric assessment. We have a team of psychometricians and, child psychologists. So we saw that there is no such tool in the market, because see, nowadays, children are not very, Gen Zs are very, very smart, but they are not very sincere in the fact that to know their passion and start pursuing it from a very early age. And if you see parents, they always in the FOMO, because there's so many options for Gen Zs that parents keep wondering that, okay, let's, put my child in something which is trending. For example, if coding is trending, let's put my child into that without even thinking that whether coding is made for my child or not, So that's the biggest gap. And I don't know how much nowadays the children and the parent is interacting with each other. The child is completely busy throughout. वो school जाते हैं, school से आके उनके पास 1000 classes है जाने के लिए, they just come at night and sleep. So I feel there's a communication gap between the parents and the children. Parents don't understand their children better. And at the same time, children don't open up too much with the parents. So that is the reason, we got this tool where, you know, it's a psychometric assessment and it's a very gamified assessment. So it's not some kind of other test, you know. We assess the child on 8 learning dimensions. फिर हम उसकी एक comprehensive report generate करते हैं जिसमें उसकी weaknesses से लेके उसकी strength, उसके passion, personalities, you know, we come up with everything. So at least now we have deep dived into the child's
head and heart.
Yeah,
Literally. Yeah.
exactly, head and heart, that okay, what child is all about, you know.
Yeah.
Other weaknesses is, so how can we start working on those weaknesses? We even suggest those activities to parents and to educators in the schools. So we put the child on the right learning track, you know, rather than parents getting confused and putting the child into 10 different things. We put the child into that 1 or 2 things where their passion actually lies into.
I think I was very lucky, touchwood, to have, because, you know, like you're saying, it is very overwhelming to have so many options. And then we're into like 2 worlds right now. Either we have a lot of options on the table, or either we're very narrow-minded about becoming a doctor or an engineer. And it is thinking out of the box has also become so common that everyone is thinking about 100 different things and they are not pursuing that one thing. And, you know, as much as I say this, that I want to do everything in my life, but there's one thing that I do wholeheartedly.
Exactly.
Which is the one thing that I feel like is your platform very good for, because even my education was very, like I always say, it is very average. I was not a star kid in the class. And the school that I went to, Raleigh College, it did not have equestrian as a sport.
Okay.
And I still did it, and I am where I am. I think that's something, you know, even if you don't have it in your course, but if you have it inside yourself, it might be a possibility that children are going to schools and, you know, institutions or colleges where they don't have what they actually want. And probably with your platform, I believe that, you know, having that wide base in every school in foundation year to recognize, okay, this is something, and even if then they want to try and test it, then they have ample amount of time to actually go forward with it. I think that is really smart.
Right. So we chose the grade 1 to 5, you know, because we understand that this is the foundational year. ये वो एज है जिसमें बच्चा हर तरीके से ग्रो करता है.
Absolutely.
और हम अगर इस एज को टैप कर लेते हैं राइट टाइम पे, सो हम अभी से उनकी जर्नी को स्ट्रीमलाइन कर सकते हैं. यू नो, वी टोटली डोंट बिलीव, और आजकल के बच्चे इतने स्मार्ट है. अगर हम सोचें कि यू नो ड्यूरिंग आवर टाइम्स हम 10th में जाके करियर एग्जाम वो यू नो असेसमेंट लेते थे, एंड देन वी यूज्ड टू थिंक अच्छा साइंस में जाना है, कॉमर्स में जाना है. बट नाउ टुडे दिस जनरेशन, इफ वी थिंक दैट हम तब जाके उनके बारे में सोचे, it would be very late.
Very late. I think it's not even so much about experimenting or wasting time. I think it is also about, you know, this is so common, like when we're into a sport, it is said that you can never be a great sports person or a great athlete or a great equestrian unless you have your basics right. This is something which is very important. As basic as cooking in the kitchen, you have to have your basics right. I think life में कुछ भी करने के लिए you have to have your basics right.
Right.
Which is the one thing in life that we should also inculcate in our whole life. कि भाई, it is not only about sport, but in education, but in life. To have your basics right and to know कि हाँ भाई, you know, it is not bad to know at an early age that you want this or you want that, or it is not bad to not know also. But it makes life easier, I would say. You know, I feel like with the Gen Z and the millennial and everything, I'm somewhere in between, because I don't 100% agree with the millennials. I don't 100% agree with the Gen Z. And I went for a talk in my school and I said that, you know, Dalians, this is something I very strongly believe is, please take yourself seriously. And this is my motto of life. If you are not taking yourself seriously, nobody will take you seriously. But then you take on to one thing and then you shine as bright as you can in that one thing. And then you don't regret.
Yes. So going ahead from here, Sudipti, how did starting your journey at a young age contribute to your success in equestrian?
I think it just, you know, like you said, it's never too late, but I think it just makes it easy.
It makes it easy.
Because I think it is very first, like I said, it is very important to have your basics right. It is very important in your life to know कि हाँ, आज मैंने ये सोच लिया है, मुझे ये करना है, अब कैसे होगा, कैसे नहीं होगा. That implementation itself is such a long process that, you know, sometimes you get a second chance but it might not be as good as your first one, like I said. So I think this early start of my life, it has given me now I believe that I'm only in my early 20s, and I have the whole of my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, because we have Olympic riders who are still winning at 45, 47, and we have to compete with them. और आज मुझे ये जो opportunity मिल रही है to be in the same arena as an Olympic rider who's won 7 times, I think it is really shaping me for the futures today. If a lot of people are asking me, okay, so you're going to do this 24 Olympics, and I said, as much as I would love to, I mean, who does not want to go to the Olympics? But now I have the time. I am in no rush that if I don't do this Paris Olympics, it is going to be the end of the world. My aim is कि भैया अभी एक Asian Game हो गया है. Now I need another Asian Games as a basis, and then I want to do the LA Olympics. And then I have the time, because I won't be in my 30s or my 40s कि life भागी जा रही है या खत्म हो रही है. अब मेरे पास plenty of time that I can take a step back and be like, okay, I have done a very good performance. But for the Olympics, now I want to be greater, bigger, more accurate about everything. And now मेरे पास वो time है that I can work on it. I have plenty amount of time to go back and do my homework in order for the LA Olympics or the next Asian Games to come out bright. Ki bhaiya, I haven't had any time. No time is lost. This has all been planned, and everything is going as per according plan, because you need to have a plan. It is as simple as that. So when you have your life planned, you have a zeal, एक अलग motivation है. And a couple of days ago, I was sitting on my dinner table with my parents, and we were talking about the next Asian Games. And I have been on it with my mom. I just have to go to the next games now. I just have to, there is this new zeal that, this Asian Games has been so good. Abhi next karna hai. And then I have I have 1 year for preparation, one for getting a new horse, and one for doing the trial. And then I have time. So this is all giving me so much time to prepare. The final day pe there is no problem for it.
You took that thing at a very right age, that this is something what I love to do, and this is something I want to pursue. And rather than getting distracted with 100 other things going on, you knew that what you have to do, and you kind of pursued it consistently and passionately throughout these years.
So India we are today, I think especially the youth, हमारी कितनी बड़ी asset है, I think वो youth ही realize नहीं करता है. This is why our Prime Minister ji is always so much promoting the fact that the youth has to do something. The youth is the future. वो ही हमारा कल है.
Absolutely.
And if हम हमारे लिए कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं, probably if today my parents would have not given me this platform, if they would have not taken me to the places that they took me, or they would have not provided what it needed, right now I am capable of making a game plan. But when they were capable of making a game plan, they gave it to me. So I am thankful to them. My life is today what it is because they held me all along. My parents did not for once even hesitate that कोई गिर गए हमें वापस उठना है. I have broken all my fingers. None of these are fine. This is like this for life. I am glad it is not my left hand for some reason. Otherwise, it would have really looked bad when I see something. But this is how my fingers are. I have a broken vertebrae. I have broken my leg. My toe, this is fake, because my horse stepped onto it. But nothing stopped. And I was young. Right now, I'm 21.
Commendable. I mean,
and if it has happened years ago, which I mean, it is something, आप young हो, आप सब हो, but अगर आपने बच्चे को थोड़ा सा भी डर दिखा दिया ना, या थोड़ा सा भी वो sense of कि भाई आपकी आँख में उनके लिए confidence है, तो वो आपको कहाँ से कहाँ ले जाएगा. और वही चीज़ अगर वो मेरे को back out कर देती कि नहीं, तुम्हें तो इसमें इतना risk है, sport में तुम तो गिर रही हो. आज मैं शायद I would have not even dreamt about Asian Games, forget being there. I always say, and this is why whenever somebody says, what is Sudipti? I said, Sudipti is building a legacy, and she is going to very well leave a legacy behind. When I have a family and when I have kids, they will be proud that my mother did something in her life that, either we want to pursue, or even if this is not this that they want to pursue, she has made it possible for us.
I think here I totally give it to your parents. I mean, they're literally inspiration for all of us. That after seeing, and being a girl, I would say that, being a girl, they saw that there was so much of risk in this game, and, there were so many challenges. And despite of all of that, उन्हें उसको सब चीज को नजरअंदाज करते हुए, they always, kind of pushed you and they were there with you all the time and they held you throughout, and that's why you are today here. Parents play a very important role in any child's life. They can become a blessing for a child. At the same time, if you don't support the child at the right time, it can even go wrong for the child, And very sadly, there are few parents who come up to us and say that, why do you take assessment for such a small child? Why do you want to make children as a robot from a very early age? So we kind of explain to them that वो robot नहीं बने इसलिए हम assessment लेते हैं, Ultimately पेरेंट्स ने बच्चों को रोबोट बना रखा है कि स्कूल से आने के बाद 10-10 क्लास में जा रहा है बच्चा, क्योंकि उनको वो भी कराना है जो पड़ोसी कर रहा है, वो भी कराना है जो स्कूल कर रहा है, और वो भी करना है जो बच्चे को अच्छा लग रहा है. And they want the child to be all-rounder, they want the child to shine and, know everything in the world. But they have to understand it doesn't happen like this, A child has their own unique talents and passions. And अगर उसको हम एक जर्नी पे चलाएंगे, एक पर्टिकुलर जर्नी पे चलाएंगे, so child would shine better. And जब हम अपने पैशन को अपना करियर बनाते हैं, when you start pursuing your passion and make it a career, so आपने कभी learning fatigue नहीं आएगी, आप में आगे work place पे कभी भी fatigue नहीं आएगा, and you will shine better than others.
अगर मैं अपना 100% हॉर्स राइडिंग में नहीं देती और मैं अपना 10% भी टाइम कहीं और देती या 1% भी और देती, तो मैं ना 100% यहाँ होती, ना मैं 100% वहाँ होती, और फिर वो मेरा सिर्फ 99% होता.
And you would be just a mediocre.
Exactly. And that 99% something doesn't count. To give it your 100, very head to toe, you have to be there your 100%. And then आपका 1% या 0.5% भी इधर उधर, then it makes a huge difference from the goal to a bronze. And that is a huge difference, I would say.
Absolutely. Like how you said that, that your parents helped you out with this and they supported you basically with your dream. I spoke to, before starting Joonify, we spoke to a couple of people to exactly know that if it is, what we are thinking, the problem is there, is it really there? We just wanted to validate the problem. So, there were people, the parents I spoke to, they were like that, since we were engineers, we forced our child, to be an engineer. And the child couldn't even pass the exams because the child didn't want to be an engineer and there was no passion and no interest in it. Still they forced, and he tried because ultimately, if parents are forcing, mostly the children have their own high. So he got into it, he tried his level best, but he couldn't do it. And, eventually after wasting a couple of years, the child opened up and said that I love hotel management, I love the art, culinary, things like that. So I want to get into it. And then the parents were like, at the end, if you're not doing this, so might as well go into that. So, but they wasted his golden years, and he got so much into, learning fatigue and low confidence, and this, which was not required at the end of the day. And then when he went into the hotel management, he did it with flying colors, and he did it amazing. And, while he was not doing good in engineering, the parents kind of labeled him all the time that, you are not good for nothing, you are a failure, or, you are not responsible enough, or whatever, all kind of labels, but generally we give it to our children, when they don't perform well. But deep inside, we don't try to understand the fact that why the child is not performing. We always start judging a fish, with its ability to fly, but we don't understand that they all are unique.
I think by the end, पूरा purpose to make a child to go through the education, the purpose is कि उस इंसान के लाइफ में एक पर्पस आता है. Sometimes the parents feel कि ये पर्पस है उसके लाइफ का, हमने सेट कर दिया. Now probably he is not thinking कि वो उसका पर्पस at all है. This is why he acts out, or this is why they get how usually the teenagers or the youth gets very distant from their parents, and they get into wrong things. It is because वो पर्पस है नहीं उनकी लाइफ का.
Exactly.
And this is all very connected to your own psychology of letting go. The parents have to know कि नहीं भाई, see, by the end everyone has to be happy, and that happiness will only come from the sole purpose. Like I said, I feel very dull if I have nothing to do the whole day. But if I am in France, if I am doing my life, even if I come back home at 8 in the evening from my yard, and then I have nothing to cook also, I will go to bed not tired, but thinking, okay, today was a long day, but tomorrow is going to be shorter. But kuch purpose है, something is making me happy towards it. That is why, and I live alone in France. I have a little apartment of my own, and I only have a couple of friends which I can count on my fingertips, and I have no family, nothing. It is my whole It is like my own capsule over there. But I'm not tired of people asking me, do you not get lonely or alone? Of course I get lonely or alone, but 100 में से वो एक दिन है.
Yeah.
Because बाकी 99 days I'm doing something which I love. If it's the opposite, कि भाई 100 दिन बेचारा बच्चा परेशान ही चल रहा है. So of course, everybody does not want to go into the family business. Not everybody wants to be a teacher like their parents are or an engineer in this fact. And that is something which is really important. That is why it is important to know at the young path कि भाई हम 9-10th में जाके बच्चे को force नहीं कर रहे हैं कि हमने ये किया है तो तुम भी यही ले लो. अब हमें बचपन से ही पता है कि तुम्हारा इसमें इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है. It is not like कि वो in the capabilities are low या something, but तुम्हारा उसमें इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है. क्या पता आपको ये नहीं करते हुए आप टॉप फैशन मॉडल बन जाओ या आप टॉप डिजाइनर बन जाओ. It has got nothing to do with your knowledge power that is in the books. It is what is your heart and your head कि नहीं भाई you have to do this.
Right.
That is very important.
Absolutely. And you said a very big thing that everyone lives for a purpose, and everyone should live for a purpose, I will say. And that purpose comes from your passion.
Yeah.
And अगर आपने अपना passion ही नहीं discover करा, so you will never lead a life which goes towards your passion. And a life without passion is just a waste, I think.
Yeah. Having a compass, but it's not working.
It's not working.
Exactly.
Absolutely. The passion gives the direction towards your purpose. So, were there any challenges you faced as a young athlete, and how did you adopt your training to align with changes in your lifestyle or approach?
Like I said, I had a lot of physical challenges, like quite literally. But, as much as those challenges I had, I think it is the bigger picture that pushed me forward. And it is not one thing, everyone says it takes a village to get where you are. I would say it took me more than a village. This knowing myself at a younger age, मुझे क्या करना है, at least that roadmap was checked. Having your parents' support, that thing was checked. I think then whatever, my trainers were very good to me. My horse, luckily I found the horse for the Asian Games. Despite all of this, what all challenges one faces, I think it is so petite, like so little, that you feel like, bigger picture pe you're winning the bigger sprint. I have been living away for a very long time from home. And when I was in the 7th grade, I shifted to Bangalore, I shifted to Delhi, and I have been all around for my games. And since that time, sometimes my sister used to accompany me. Then later in the stages, I was managing the whole house for once. I knew it was not easy what mothers do or what our helpers do, to get up in the morning and kya lana hai, kya karna hai. I think that sense of confidence that came, ki I have done it, I have everyone's support, but sometimes you have to do it on your own. By the end, no matter how much support my parents did me, how much support I had from my trainers, but by the end, sometimes, you're going to bed alone, you have to wake up alone, you have to manage a house alone, and you have to deal with everything that you are doing alone. And I think that confidence came when I was away from home at such a young age. If someone would ask me ki kya challenges rahe hain, I can go on and on, honestly.
Right. And I think that the very most important thing that you were willingly and you're happily overcoming all these challenges was that you were on the path of pursuing the love of your life.
I would say it is the childhood dream. बचपन से देखा है अभी, it's coming into play.
Yeah.
अब इसमें कुछ challenges आ रहे तो ठीक है. And it's not like I have become, honestly, this person who is also speaking about this so loudly. Otherwise, I earlier was someone ki ek challenge aaya ya ek difficulty aayi and I start thinking back on life like anything.
So Sudipti, can you share your emotions and experiences surrounding winning the gold medal of 2022 in Asian Games?
Like I say, I dreamt so hardly about it, like sleeping, waking up, going to gym, going to riding, driving. I was lost in my own fairy tale saying ki I am going to get the gold. And honestly, when we were there, it was nothing compared to any happiness in the world. I very promptly teared up on national television as soon as they said our name and the flag went up and then the national anthem happened. This has been my dream for all the Asian Games, for all the Olympics that I have witnessed, is for me to stand at the podium and everyone in respect standing for your country and your flag going up and that national anthem. I think it took so long for it to sink in. And even today, I get so excited like a little kid when I watch my videos or if I watch my tests, and that sort of emotion that came out. And I think it was just not just because of me, but so many people, my groom, she is the one who tacks up the horse, she's the one who gets the horse ready for me. As soon as I completed my test and I came out after my last salute, she was crying like anything, like, Sudipti, we have made it. And this is even us before winning the medal. Before we knew the results, she's like, Sudipti, we have made it. And when I took the medal and we got off the podium and then we had to do like a victory lap with our horses, I came back and I hugged her so badly. I said, if it weren't for that girl, I wouldn't have been here. I was patting my horse. If anyone sees that video of me, people were like, Sudipti, my mom and dad were like, what are you doing for us? And it is so much of happiness that, that gold in my hand, in around my neck, that medal, it's not me, it's my groom, it's my trainers, and it's my horse, very importantly, because, he knew that we had won.
Right.
He knew we had won. I have been to n number of competition over the years with this horse, but that day was genuinely special when you have to go around the arena before they ring a bell and then you start the test. And when you're doing that lap, that is your 10-20 seconds of doing whatever you want with the horse, your last 10-20 seconds.
Okay.
And when we were actually warming up, I did not have my own trainers because of some administrative problem. And I was very nervous. But as soon as I went inside and I saw my trainers, A, I had that confidence. B, I stopped the horse, I patted him. And all I said to him is, don't worry, we have got this. And when I went in, it was like he understood. He understood this is the most important day for us. As team, we have to come out shining. And he did everything. I did not have to worry about that. I am communicating because we communicate with the horse with our legs. And I was not for once in question or in doubt that, if I am riding the horse correctly or not, because I was doing my job 100% and he understood it 100%. And that emotion, that happiness, I think it will never leave, no matter how many, because the first ones are always special. And this was our debut at the Asian Games for all of us, for my horse, for my trainers. Because they're Europe-based, they have never been to the Asian Games. They're all Olympic riders and they've never experienced this. So it was, for everyone, this was the first Asian Games. And the first ones, as much as special they are, it has given us great learnings. And we genuinely hope collectively as a team that we go to Japan and we are again on that podium with the gold, with the national anthem and with the flag going up, because that is my happiness. If somebody asks me what is happiness to you, I feel that.
Must be so miraculous for you, must be like,
literally.
Yeah, I can imagine. And the bond, what you shared, what you just discussed between you and your horse was also something to, it was very good to hear that. So, Deepti, just as a closing thought, what is that specific tip or the guidance that you want to give to young individuals there? And, so that they start to discover and pursue their passions, and even to their parents, so that they can support and help them to discover again and nurture their passions. What is that special tip?
I think there is not one, but so many. But the most important one is faith. If you have faith in yourself, then you have a purpose. If you have a purpose in life, then you're doing something about it. If you start to do something about it, and if you're giving it your all, you will 100% achieve it. And this path that I chose, I knew it was not going to be easy, but it all came together very nicely, of course. But with the whole fact of this faith that I had that I will do something in my life, my parents had faith in me, my trainers had faith in me, I had faith in myself, I had faith in my horse had faith in me that she's taking the right care of me. And I think with the youngsters, this, like I said earlier in this, you have to take yourself seriously. Of course, it is never too late. But there is no such thing as starting too early.
Right.
The earlier you start, the more time you have. It is as simple as if you're getting up at 10, the whole day is messed up. इसलिए all these सब बड़े लोग कहते हैं भैया 7 बजे तक उठ ही जाओ, then you have the rest of your day with yourself. It is as simple as that. earlier you start, the better end of the day you will have. Earlier you start in life, the better end you will have. When I am done with life, I want to be like, yes, I lived it. 100% I lived it. There is no regrets.
Absolutely, Sudipti, you said such a beautiful thing that, earlier you start your day, you have the entire day to, make it more beautiful. And वो बोलते हैं ना, दिन की शुरुआत अच्छी है तो सब कुछ अच्छा ही
Exactly.
जाता है. So similarly, earlier in life, if you start
Life की शुरुआत अच्छी है, then it is a lifelong insurance that you are giving your own self. Then you don't need another company to give you life insurance.
exactly.
In short, you have your own life insurance, and you should be your own life insurer.
Sure. And I think the second beautiful thing what you said is that have faith in you, have
Yeah.
faith in your children, basically, and don't force them.
Yeah.
Don't force them, don't label them. Instead of that, have faith in them. Have faith in their talents, have faith in their passion, which is like very, very important.
This is something which is I'm going to say so that the parents really understand. In my entire family, up until me, there was no one who did this sports. Absolutely no one. Forget horse riding, जो अपने आप में एक unique sport है और जो सारे sports से अलग हटके है. There is nobody who's dreamt about having a career in sports. But it is my family who supported me. It is my father, it is my mother, it is my sister who thought कि नहीं अगर ये अलग हटके भी है, then she has the that skill that it requires and that passion which can only excel in the field that she wants to do.
Right.
Agar, my dad's into IT, my mom's into education, and my sister is jolly willingly doing her job with that office, and she is doing justice to what is to brought to that company. If it were to me, I don't have my heart into it. So, the things that parents do to have कि हमने ये किया तो बच्चे भी वही करें. Sometimes it can work out. It's not like it works because it has been my father's dream much longer than it has been mine. Don't mistake me for that. My father dreamt about this much earlier than I did, but he also knew through me to dream about it.
Right.
It is not something that he had in his head, and sometimes it does not work out to just have your own ambitions that you couldn't do to be okay. We're gonna at least spoon feed you and then you will come out to be this. It actually doesn't work out like that.
Parents सोचते जो हम नहीं कर सके वो मैं बच्चा करे.
Yeah, and और या जो हम कर रहे हैं वो कर ले. It's okay if today as much धोनी के बच्चे अगर क्रिकेट में नहीं जाना चाहते हो या शाहरुख खान के बच्चे अगर एक्टिंग में नहीं जाना चाहते हो, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
They could be
themselves.
Yeah, whatever they want to do in their lives. There's so many opportunities. There's so much to do today. Earlier, lives were very narrow-minded. Everyone had to think in a very narrow space, and we only had a couple of things on the table to think about. But now, today, when we have so much, I think explore, get it right on the first time, if not the second one, at least get it right as to what you fit into. So you're not trying to fit into a puzzle that is not for you.
Exact.
Then it is very difficult to be happy in general in life, and I think that is at least one of the purposes of life is to be happy.
Absolutely. And I think when you do something which you love doing it, which is aligned with your passion and which is aligned with your purpose in life, then you're much more happier.
Exactly.
And you're more satisfied, you're more happy in life, rather than doing something which is just out of, some kind of force or out of some kind of family legacy which is going on, and that you have to do something which your parents said, or you have to do because it will give you more money maybe, or it is the best career which is going on. I think whatever it is, but that would not give you satisfaction and happiness, and if it is not aligned with your passion.
Exactly.
So Sudipti, what do you think that a tool like Joonify, which helps to discover the child's talents and and where we also put them towards a right track and towards the right learning journey, so do you think that a tool like this would really help parents, and it is a need of the hour, it is required in today's era?
I think it's absolutely need of the hour. I think my parents have to do a lot of back and forth with me, with my sister, and at those times there were nothing such platforms that one had even dreamt about to have something that some outside help would come into this equation to help explore our child. So I would want to say to the parents कि एक तरीके से आप ही का जो काम है वही आसान हो रहा है, and rather than thinking that just school is fine and having to go to these million coachings and these tuition classes is fine. I think no matter how much you do into that, it will not be fine unless you have the right platform. And I think ये सिर्फ पेरेंट्स का ही नहीं, ये स्कूल के लिए भी ये काम आसान बना रहा है, बिकॉज it is very important to have, schools always talk about having this connect with their students. I think this will be a great way to connect them, because, if today I go to my school, चौकीदार से लेके principal तक, everyone knows me personally. But it is because I'm doing something, and, they have seen this, and it is out of all the students, they only know me. Probably with this, and it makes me feel special. They don't know me by name. The guards and the helpers and everyone, they know me by Thode wali didi hai. You see, that is how, that kind of personalization, I think that is something that will inculcate with this platform, and I think it will make life easier for the kid via their parents and via the school staff and all the teachers. Everyone in the class is not a topper. Everyone is not an average student. Some are also below average. It's okay to have like an average somewhere and to have 100% somewhere, rather than having an average and an average. Right. Then you have nothing in your hands. So teachers will also understand कि ठीक है, इधर हम इतना push कर रहे हैं, that will make him to a basic understanding of what it is, and what he actually wants to do is, let's push that, that he gets out to be a very great person in general in his life. I think a platform like this would really help make life easier for all the three parties that are involved: parents, school, and the kid.
Absolutely. I think you have beautifully summed up the entire concept, what exactly Joonify is doing. Because we actually tell parents and educators, schools, institutions also that, it is just not about academics, it's not just about academic performance of the child, but a child's well-being, holistic well-being, a child's holistic growth is also very, very important. Be it child's emotional quotient, be it child's aptitude or logical reasoning, creativity, all of this should also start getting nurtured along with academics. And that is very important, because as you rightly mentioned, the child cannot be great or good in everything.
Yeah.
It has to be one thing which the child is really good at, and mediocre at other things. So it's very, very important for us to see that where the child is good and where he needs our support, and how can we take the child ahead in that learning journey, rather than taking him in everything which is available. When I first met you, I thought that, you are a role model for Joonify, and I need to have this discussion with you, because you're a true example of starting early in life and pursuing your passion and converting into your purpose and career, and becoming a satisfied and a happy individual in your life. And that's the entire motive of Joonify, to make children happy in their life, and to give them a successful life, basically, by discovering themselves early in life. So thank you so much, Sudipti, for this podcast, and you gave a great insight. It was very, very informative, and it was amazing and very thrilling to know about you, your challenges, and the work you have done to make country proud of you, and like to make all of us proud of you. It was an amazing conversation with you.
I would like to thank you for having me here. And of course, this whole thing, even if people get to know about me, will be through your platform now. This is why I think having any sort of platform which is right is very important. So firstly, thank you for having me. And I hope it goes to as many as students as it can, as many educators and as many parents, to understand that starting early is as important as waking up early in the morning.
Absolutely. Thank you for summing up it so beautifully.
Thank you so much,
Sudipti.